Hey everybody, I wanted to give you a heads up about upcoming classes on Wednesday nights for our spring quarter. Just so you know, the quarter lasts from March 6th to May 29th. Just one thing to be aware of before you hear the roster. We are going to have a prayer night in preparation for our event with Philip Yancey. That prayer night is happening on April 10th, and all people from all classes are invited to that prayer event. Now, here is the schedule. First of all, we have 4 ongoing classes that happen year-round. There is our international class led by Clay Hart, which is designed for one-on-one or small group conversations centered on discussions of short text from a simplified English translation of the Bible. Then we have the Hub, which is for young adults, led by Lee Langdon. In the spring quarter, they will dive into how to share your faith. That's going to be led by Dudley Chansey and Rhonda Martin, and that class will be followed by teachings from Alden Bass and Lee Langdon. Third, we've got the Bucket List Book Club, which will be led by Caleb McCoy. This year is dedicated to the collected works of Flannery O'Connor, and that group meets the second Wednesday of each month of 2024. Finally, we've got our early bird classes. That starts at 5:10 p.m. and ends at 6 p.m. And that class will be called Hold On to the Faith, which will be led by Phil Lewis, and it's a study on 1st and 2nd Timothy. Next up, we have 3 women's classes. The first is a Come As You Are video discussion series led by Bethany Becknell on Jen Wilkins' book called Abide, a study of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. You don't have to register, and no study guide needs to be purchased. The second women's class is called Encountering God, Cultivating Habits of Faith Through the Spiritual Disciplines. You do need to register for that one, and it's going to be led by Robin Poteet. The study guide is $15, and you need to pre-register at mrcc.org/women. Third and finally, we have Find Your People, Building Deep Community in a Lonely World. That discussion and series will be led by Cheryl Burke. You also need to register for that one. The study guide is $10 and pre-register at the same website that I mentioned a minute ago. Next up, we have an announcement that Merge is back. If you're not familiar with it, Merge is a class led by Jenny Jones and Terry Fisher. It's designed to help newlyweds, engaged couples, and even those couples who are just seriously dating try to lay a strong foundation when they merge their lives in marriage. It's a 7-session class led by our MRCC staff and mentors for young couples. There's not going to be a session on March 20th. It meets from 6:30 p.m., our normal time, but goes a little bit later to 7:45 p.m., and you do need to register for it. Finally, we've got 4 classes, basically for all ages and stages of life. First up, we've got Western Christians and Global Missions, led by John Wilgus. It's an interactive class that features discussions with missionaries to find better ways to serve others in the name of Jesus. Second, we've got Read What Jesus Read, and it's delving into the book of Deuteronomy. It's going to be 8 weeks long. It's led by Harold Shank, one of our elders here at the church, and it will end on April 24th. Third, we've got our Chosen video series. If you haven't checked out the show, The Chosen, you can. There are 3 seasons up right now, and that class will be led by Jared Lovett. You need to go check out that series. And finally, we've got The Way of Jesus, which will be taught by me and Clint LaRue. It's been a year-long class that's dedicated to the topic of spiritual maturity. And we've so far talked about 3 common traits in mature Christians: conviction, obedience, and prayer. We're going to finish our discussion of the 10 Commandments in the spring quarter and then move on to reflect on the Lord's Prayer. We hope you are there on Wednesday nights to enjoy all of these great teachers, and we hope to see you then.